Well, g'day everybody, welcome to another week of announcements for St Matt's and All Saints on the 22nd of October. You may have heard yesterday the government announced that they're allowing churches to increase their sizes up to 300 COVID restrictions, and you may have heard about that, and I just want to say to you, it doesn't actually really help us because that 300 limit is still subject to a 4 square metre rule. And we've been at that anyway for the last while. So at St Matt's, that limit is just over 100, unless there's Sunday school on because of the Mass. And at All Saints, the limit's 50. So until they change the 4 square metre and the need for 1.5 metre distancing, we're at our current sizes. But the good news is, in all our services, there are still 4 square metre rule subject spaces available, so there's room for more people to return. Though the news is from this Sunday, masks are no longer recommended to those who attend church services. So that's a great development, and if that was a little thing that was just bothering you, you don't need to, but of course if you want to wear it, that's fine. But it's no longer part of the government's recommendation. Also, we can have a number of singers leading the singing, but we can't do the singing. And I know Glenn Davies has asked the Minister for Health to ask his advisors about whether we could sing with masks on. So just watch this space and we'll see what happens. Let me encourage you to consider returning to church. The health conditions are pretty good. At the moment, they're under control. I guess most ministers are thinking in these categories of health, head, and heart. And so if you have a health reason for not returning, by all means, you must look after your health. Or perhaps you work in an industry where it's sensitive to health needs of others. So of course, if you can't return, there's always the online options. For others, it's a head issue. It's an anxiety issue. About the stress and the worry of returning and what that would mean. And there's been a lot of anxiety throughout the whole of COVID, hasn't there? Well, the beautiful thing is the gospel speaks to our anxieties. In Philippians, we're urged to pray, not to be anxious, but to pray. And so if you haven't already, I urge you to consider that and to pray and let God work in you as you lean into Him as you worry about it, so to speak. So do that, pray. And the third category was heart. And for some, it may be that you're thinking, and if there's any symptom of this in you, I challenge you. But if you're thinking, gee, I much prefer the more comfortable church at home online, I like it, I like the wine and the cheese or the coffee church, whatever it is, I'd rather just take it easier. Well, if there's any hint of that in your heart, I'd just like to challenge it, because God has not set up church for our comfort, but for us to fellowship with Christ around His Word and with His people. And we had to do that online. We still need to in some instances. But if it's just a comfortable thing, well, let the challenge of the gospel challenge your heart at that point. Let me say to all of us, we want to lean into Christ, and so that's what we need to be doing. I'm hoping that next week I can announce a student minister for All Saints for next year, so just watch this space for that. In the meantime, we'll see you Sunday. We have John Dixon joining us Sunday mornings at St Matt's and 4:30 at All Saints. And it's terrific. So please be praying that God uses that even in these times to bring people to faith. And we'll see you then. Bye.